By golly, here we are again. It is very interesting to note in the 11th of May of 1794 here in Alaska, Irkutsk General Governor Peel orders Shelikoff to avoid having natives carry out any fickle undertaking or bloody consequence, and to use espionage and denunciation of colonial practice, in colonial practice, to show the natives affection and tolerance, but to have spies everywhere from among the most loyal. Sort of sounds like the homeland. 1786, Shelikoff, upon departing Okhotsk, leaves Konstantin Samoilov in charge with lengthy list of instructions that tell him how to control the natives, to continue to enlist spies, and to make a list of all Kodiak peoples, impose tribute, and assign elders. However, skip ahead a bit, 1943 on the 11th of May, U.S. troops, delayed by very bad weather, finally landing on Attu Island in the military's first ever amphibious landing at Massacre and Holt's Bay, will also become a part of the second deadliest and bloodiest human tragedy of the Second World War. The Nevada, which has been severely damaged earlier in World War II, was then able to return the favor. By the seventh day of the battle, there were 549 American and 2,351 Japanese dead. Most of the Japanese would commit suicide rather than be captured, and only 28 prisoners were taken at Attu. You got that, 549 dead Americans and 2,351 Japanese. In the 21 days of battle for Attu, 32,370 rounds of 105 millimeter and then 10,000 rounds of 75 millimeter were fired. 1945, Japan was pounded during the first half of this year by hundreds of B-29s operating from Pacific Islands, but Shemya, which had a 10,000-foot runway built to accommodate the B-29, was only used once by a B-29 that was on a training mission only from Ladd Field, departing the next day. On the 12th of May, 1778, Captain James Cook enters Prince William Sound. 14 days later, discovers Cook Inlet near the current site of Anchorage, turning back after reaching latitude 71 north, longitude 197 west, and noting that Anchorage was hardly worth mention because it was lowland and relatively flat and soggy. But 1900 of the same day, Fort Wrangell is closed for the third and last time. In 1942, ill health forces Governor John W. Troy to leave office in 1939 and dies in Juneau on this date. The 13th of May, 1834, Sheldon Jackson, missionary born in Mineville, New York, marries Mary Voorhees in 1957, worked in hospitals in Alabama and Tennessee, Civil War, assigned to missionary work in Rocky Mountain District in 1865, went to Alaska, mind you, 1877, founded missions at Wrangell, Sitka, Sheldon Jackson Junior College, Haines, Prince Wales Island, and lobbies and lectures throughout the United States, wrote magazine articles in favor of the Harrison Act of 1884, creating a civil government for Alaska. He was general agent of education for Alaska with an office in Washington, D.C., persuaded U.S. Congress to support importation of reindeer from Siberia for starving Eskimos, retires in 1908, and dies in Washington, D.C. in 1909. Both 1842, both the Russian-American Company under the chief manager Atolin and the Hudson Bays Company recognize the inherent danger in liquor traffic and sign a joint agreement to suppress the use and trafficking of liquor. That was 1842. 1914, the President was authorized to assign First Lieutenant Frederick Mears to work on a rail route project and further in charge of construction of the new line beginning at a point where Ship Creek enters Knik Arm. 1926, something everybody remembers, the dirigible Norge traveled from Norway over the North Pole to Alaska and lands in Tiller after trying to find Nome, which was not visible for the clouds and the high winds. The historic flight ended Amundsen's conquest of both poles, having done the South Pole on December 14, 1911. The news of the previous day projected that the dirigible was feared lost. And so, folks, another bit of history to make you feel more at home in a place that you live and know very little about in its past history. Until next week, thank you.